Hello children. In our history, chapter 1 sources, I have completed 3 videos. So this is my 4th video. If you have not watched the previous videos, please watch those videos and you can understand the meaning of the lesson neatly. Let us start our chapter 1 sources. In the last class, we have discussed the first point, sources required to the study of history. Second one, we have finished the types of sources of history. And we have discussed about the importance of archaeological sources. Fourth one, importance of inscriptions. Fifth one, importance of oral sources. So let us continue with our 4th video regarding coins. Let us begin our today's lesson. The name of the topic is coins. Of course, I think you have seen different variety of coins. Some coins are small, some coins are big. And here also in the picture, you can see different variety of coins which belong to different rulers, different kingdoms period. So that their symbols depicts on these coins. So present days you will see the metallic coins. In our old period they are using different types of coins. They are all mixed metals, copper coins, then mixture of the important iron and other important types of coins. So once we see those coins, they will have their own titles on it. So for example, here also some of the rulers' pictures and their names and year, which year they have issued. So all these are mentioned on these coins. So what the historians will do means they will keep these coins, and in our school days also they will go into, our teachers used to tell that please collect these type of coins and make it as a habit so that you can know the importance of these coins. So in our period also 1 paisa, 2 paisa, 3 paisa, like that the important 5 paisas, 10 paisa. So now we seeing important rupees coins also, and the important Mahatma Gandhi ji photo, all the important heroes and the freedom fighters photos. In the old period, South Indian rulers photos and the Indian rulers and the example Samudragupta, Gupta period, Harshavardhana period. So there are every kings issued their own type of coins in their period of time. So this type of coins the people are using for trade purpose. So kings are mainly minting coins. Common people cannot mint. Mint means as issuing coins. So today we are using rupees and coins also decreasing nowadays. But for change purpose we are using coins. So in the old period, paper money was not used in that period. So they are using these type of coins and they are doing their economic activities. So once we see these type of coins, we can know their languages of administration. And these coins also will have the titles which are written about the kings. So that will also tells us which particular religion they have followed and what was the important economic condition in that time and the type of metal whatever they have used in that particular period of time in their kingdoms. So like this the coins we can understand all these informations. So how geographically which were extent about the rulers and these informations we can know about coins. Samudragupta, one of the important famous ruler of the Gupta Empire. So he was a great conqueror and he issued, means minted, 7 different types of gold coins. So the golden period, Gupta period is also called as golden period because the rulers have issued gold coins. Some rulers later on started issuing silver coins. So when silver coins are becoming lesser, then they started using metallic coins. So these are all the evolution of coins, how the different stages we found. So this type of coins based on the pictures, and Samudragupta's the important period, how he has issued that photo we can know, and how he is a lover of music, that is also depicted on these coins. And he conducted Ashwamedha sacrifice for the sake of expansion of his kingdom. All this you can know with once you see the Samudragupta coin. Then second example is Gautami Putra Shatakarni. So one of the famous ruler where he got the name of Nahapana, and he erased on his coins and he engraved his name on them. This supported the view that how Gautami Putra Shatakarni defeated Nahapana, and it tells us about his great conquering ability and how he was a great conqueror. So that way we can know the informations with the help of coins, not just using and circulating from one person to another. So on the back of the issuing of these coins, these informations are all we can know. And third one, the availability of Roman coins. Third important information about it is the availability of Roman coins in Bangalore. So some of the Romans, those who arrived to Bangalore, they also given their own coins. It proves the fact that how we had a trade relation with Romans 2000 years back. So with the help of coins, dates we can know, and then how they had established different important religion, different important conquest against one another. So all these informations you can know, and the prosperity of the kingdom. Suppose if they have given gold coins, silver coins, copper coins, and aluminium coins also. We have seen aluminium coins also in our period. So all it will tells us about the prominence about that kingdom and their economic condition. So for the sake of history, coins also gives more information to our historians. So therefore, coins plays a very important role regarding our archaeological sources. I think you have understood about the importance of coins. Now the next topic that you have to know about monuments. So what is the meaning of monument? Monument is also one of the major source to write our history. For example, suppose if I say monuments means you cannot understand. So once you have seen the Mysore Palace, then Ajanta, Ellora, Aihole, Badami temples, then Hyderabad forts, or Srirangapatna fort, or Bangalore fort, or the important pillars like Meheroli, famous for iron pillar. These are all the examples for our monuments. Meheroli iron pillar we found in Delhi. So it is one of the iron pillar. It is not rusted yet now, even though they kept in a open space where we found Qutub Minar. There this pillar is available, and that is also one of the example for our monuments. And the important Vijaypura, we found Whispering Wall. That is, once you go to Bijapur, famous for Gol Gumbaz. So there Whispering Wall is available. So once you talk in the one side, then that whispering voice will be heard in other part of the wall. So that is also one of the miracle done by our artist. So that also one of the example for our monuments. And the type of science, whatever they have used, then technical knowledge, how they have used, all you can know with the help of seeing these type of monuments. Another example is Shah Jahan's Taj Mahal also tells the story of love, and Chittur Vijayastambha, so that is victory pillar they will tell. So that also tells the victory of Rana Kumbha. Rana Chittur Vijayastamba victory pillar also tells the victory of Ranakum. Next example is the cave pictures which are engraved on Elephanta, Ellora, Ajanta temples, and their paintings, whatever they have depicted, sculptures, how they have carved. So when they are carved on the stones, all these are all called as sculptures. So these are the examples where we can know with the help of these monument, that all come under monuments examples. Next one, once you go to North Karnataka, you can see these beautiful Aihole and Pattadakal important temples, and Badam is also famous for cave temple, and temple architecture are all become more popular examples for our monuments. And Nalanda is also one of the important monument famous for them. The monument of Nalanda is also famous, and the architecture of Madarasas. So Madarasas means the college which was built by Muhammad Gawan in Bidar. So once you go to Bidar, you can see the important colleges. They were called as Madarasas. So that also narrates the educational developments, how they have done in that period once you see these type of madrasas. And as I said, the fort of Srirangapatna also tells us the important informations and what type of the technology they have used in that area for defense. And like this, that particular monument which belong to which particular period, like this, monuments will throw the important light on the contemporary religious aspects, technology, economic growth of that period, scientific knowledge, how they have used in their period, and creative achievement. So with the help of monuments, we can know all these informations. Therefore, you also watch these monuments and try to enlighten your knowledge. Now, let us continue with the other ruins. So, ruins are one of the important various pieces of terracotta and made out of bangles and some of the beads which are founded and seals where they are engraved, like all the, like with the help of these seals we can know the Harappan civilization, Mohenjo-daro civilization, and the old history, prehistoric period, everything with the help of our ruins. And historians, what they will do, they will make their own examinations and they will highlight to know the social, cultural aspects and economic condition, political condition, and religious life of the people. And we can understand their food habits and we can know what type of business they are doing in that period of time. For example, by applying carbon 14 dating procedure on the biological ruins like dead animals, some of the birds, the trees which are found in these important sites, that also will give you the accurate which particular period they belong. So the information. For example, Buddha Stupa, which was which period it was excavated at Rajagatta of Dodbalapur Taluk. Then another excavations conducted at Arikedu and Pattanam in Tamil Nadu. A large number of evidences which are available in order to speak about the commercial contact, how our South India had contact with the Romans. So the Romans also arrived from the Greek, and those remaining ruins will give you all these informations about the period, about the past period. So past, present, everything we can know to write about their history once we study about our ruins. So ruins are found at excavations which tells many things that were lost over a period of time by our historians. Whatever we have studied today, I will review these points now. Please remember all these points. First one, I explained about coins. So coins are always looking in small in shape. Suppose if the coins made big means you cannot circulate and you cannot hold it also, and it is very difficult to carry from one place to another. So the coins also more helpful in order to understand the important geographical extent of our rulers and their kingdoms, how they have used coins and how they have minted the coins. So with the help of coins we can know all this informations. Example we have discussed, with the help of coins you can know their religion, which particular religion they followed, and their economic condition we can know. Example Samudragupta, example we have discussed how he has minted 7 different types of gold coins, and during his period of time he conducted Ashwamedha Yaga. So that is also one of the informations we can know once we see his coins. The availability of Roman coins which are found in Bangalore, that also tells us how we had, our country had trade link with Romans 2000 years back. So not only today we had our international trade, even in the past period also we had a trade link with Romans. So we have to study our coins very well. The next topic is monuments. So monuments examples: palaces, temples, forts, pillars. One example is Mehrauli iron pillar. 2. Gol Gumbaz, you can see the whispering wall in Bijapur. Shah Jahan's Taj Mahal, also one of the example for our monuments. Fourth example is the monuments of Nalanda, the Aihole and the Pattadakallu inscriptions. Then the architecture of the madrasa built by Muhammad Gawan in Bidar. Madrasa means famous for educational center. College, it was called madrasas. These are the examples which come under coins. Another ruins are various pieces of terracotta, bangles, whatever the type of beads they have used in their necklaces and in their important seals. That also one of the examples for our ruins. Buddha stupas will give you the another example to know the important light about the Buddhism. Then the biological ruins of the dead animals, trees are all examples for our ruins. Like this, in the excavations which are conducted in Tamil Nadu, the places called as Arikamedu and Pattanam are these two places. Also, the historians have done their excavations. So that also tells us the commercial contact how we had with South India with the Romans. So we can know these informations with the help of our ruins. Like this, today we have discussed about coins, monuments, examples for our monuments and other ruins. Like this, in our history, the chapter 1 sources, we have discussed all these points. So please remember, these are the main points of the lesson. So in my next video, I will discuss about the question and answers about this lesson. Thank you, children.